everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Nightly News. I'm your host, Joanna Lunsford. Let's get right to our top story. Furman recently received another major gift from the Duke Endowment. Last week, the Duke Endowment announced gifts totaling $175 million to higher education, including $25 million grants to Furman University, according to administration. The Duke Endowment grant is a turning point for Furman. The $25 million gift supports the Furman Advantage by empowering students with engaged learning, reflection, and mentorship.
So the Duke Endowment has been a partner with Furman for a long time, but most importantly, they were excited about the Furman Advantage because they saw that what Furman was doing was going to be a differentiator for students. What we were doing was digging deep into what makes the student experience the best it can be. What are the experiences they need outside the classroom? What are the programs and services they need on campus to be their best selves?
So those paid summer internships and housing many of you received, that's the Furman Advantage, made possible by these grants. Our rigorous academics, active career preparation, and enhanced student life are simply the essences of Furman, and the Clearly Furman campaign has plans to take these expectations to another level. This 10-year-long campaign has currently reached a whopping $390 million. Let's take a look at how these donations will be distributed.
Clearly, Furman is not just another funding initiative. Through enhanced resources and unwavering support, Clearly Furman is dedicated to fostering a community where clarity, opportunity, and excellence converge. These funds will be distributed towards all aspects of Furman, from inside to outside the classroom. Their goal is to raise $426 million by June 2026, but there's a deeper meaning to that number.
And we chose that specifically because Furman will turn 200 years old in 2026. We do an evaluation of the university needs and the donor interest. And so the university did a needs assessment, essentially, and we're able to determine the top funding priorities that range from academics to institutes to annual fund, athletics, student life, things of that sort.
The campaign will end on June 30th, 2026. Disha Patel looks into why some students aren't living where their class normally lives. Disha?
Good afternoon, Furman Paladins. I'm Disha Patel, and today we'll be talking about the pressing issue that's going across the campus, the housing shuffle. Let's unpack it.
Last week, Furman dropped a bombshell on Rising Juniors. Rising Juniors will be squeezed into sophomore housing. That cozy single room that you were hoping for now is going to be a shared double. The question on everybody's mind is, why is this happening? Well, Furman is growing, but our campus isn't elastic. Overflowing dorms, waitlist. Space is scarier than ever.
So now, let's hear from the students and their thoughts.
I saw in the email they sent out like a few weeks ago, I think it was 80 Rising Juniors have to live in Clark Murphy still, which is like over 10% of our class grade. So I was definitely surprised, and I don't think anyone really wants to live there.
But wait, juniors aren't the only one who's getting displaced. Extra year and grad students, brace yourself. You're on your own. Apartment leases, bill, that is adulting.
So I got an email talking about how I won't be able to live on campus next year. And next year I will be a fifth-year student. I'm also on the football team here, so having an extra year of eligibility, and I transferred here, so I'm going to have to take a whole course load next semester, and not being able to live on campus will not benefit me because I'll have to find my way to go find a lease and somewhere off campus, and I'll have to commute to campus while taking 3 to 4 classes next semester. So it's going to be a hard semester if I'm not able to live on campus.
To figure out the answer to all the questions, I reached out to Housing for an on-camera chat. Here is the response. Furman University Housing responded that they no longer participate in video or audio interviews for class or a project.
So grab your roommates and let's figure out your next year's housing, because at Furman, it's not just about a room or an apartment. It's about a community. I'm Disha. Back to you, Joanna.
Thanks, Disha, for keeping us informed about the housing shuffle. It's definitely a topic on everyone's mind. Ready to turn your business dreams into reality? Applications for the Hill Institute's 2024 Summer Business and Innovation Bootcamp are now open. Let's take a look at what the bootcamp entails.
Here we are at the Hill Institute. This 8-week summer bootcamp immerses students into business expertise and allows them the opportunity to use it firsthand. In the first 3 weeks, participants learn business, marketing, and management fundamentals to launch a mock business. They conclude with a mock launch, pitching to investors and analyzing project data. In the second half, students receive consulting training before working with local nonprofit companies.
So the purpose of the whole bootcamp is to complement your Furman degree with real-world experience specific to the innovation and entrepreneurship areas.
This program offers early career accelerating experiences, setting students apart from their peers. Are you ready to equip yourself with the skills needed for today's competitive landscape? Advocacy is an important part of our lives here at Furman. Ella Harrison looks into how best to do that.
Many of us want to advocate for things that we care about in our community, but how do we do that? Do we come here to City Hall? Who do we talk to and where do we go?
I would suggest a cup of coffee. I think everybody on council, this is a relatively small city. You can have coffee with the mayor. Just call my office. I do it all the time, in fact, and some great relationships have been built.
Greenville City Mayor Knox White has been involved in the local government for 40 years. He says that the best way to advocate for causes you care about is to build relationships with city council members.
So send an email if you want to on an issue that's pressing. If you want that level of engagement, that's the first question, then end it with, hey, I'd like to talk more about this over a cup of coffee or something like that. That's what I'd recommend. You can still do that in Greenville, and we have a lot of coffee shops too.
Mayor White also advocates for causes he cares about and has initiated change during his time as mayor.
Let's build new sidewalks. For the first time in 100 years in the city of Greenville, didn't build sidewalks until more recently. Let's build bike trails. Let's focus on neighborhood traffic concerns. So we have a traffic calming program now. We didn't have any of these things at the beginning.
Community members have the opportunity to speak at city council meetings by contacting the city clerk by noon on the day of the meeting.
It's a great way to keep in touch with what's happening in the city of Greenville.
But you can advocate without going to City Hall. Carly Gillis is one student who advocates on campus. After her own struggles, she formed Anita Coalition at Furman.
I'm a strong believer that trauma and negativity can be a catalyst for positive change and positive self-growth.
Even small gestures can be acts of advocation.
I do this thing called Operation Sticky Note, and it just started with me at like 12 a.m. in the Soho girls' bathrooms, just putting up sticky notes, but I got a lot of positive feedback, so that's one thing I do.
Advocacy is anywhere on campus, Gillis says. You just have to find something you are passionate about.
If you're passionate about like the birds on campus, making sure they have enough food to eat, like start organizing like pine cones, reach out to some friends. Change starts with one person, and it doesn't have to be anything big or grand.
Even though we only have 4 years at Furman, advocating with local government is a chance to learn.
Community engagement's always a good thing, and we're just a good example. I think we're very accessible, maybe more so than a lot of other governments, and my invitation to have a cup of coffee with the mayor extends to Furman students too, and I say that because I've actually done that a couple times.
If you're interested in advocating beyond Furman's gates, maybe even here at City Hall, you can visit greenvillesc.gov. I'm Ella Harrison reporting for Nightly News, downtown Greenville.
That website is also where you will find the meeting agenda. Their next meeting is on February 12th, and they will be talking about annexing a piece of property to the city of Greenville. The last time that the Furman radio station was live was back in 2014. 10 years later, sophomore Eric Newman has big plans to bring the station back on air. As a lifelong radio enthusiast, Eric was surprised when he came to Furman and realized that our radio station was basically defunct. Driven by their belief in the power of music along with the assistance of the comm department, Eric is on the mission to remind students of the strength of a radio wave.
I think student radio as a concept is really a place for subversive music to grow and subversive ideas.
Keep your ears open for some submersive sounds with the return of the radio station, coming this fall. This month we celebrate Black History Month, and we have a lot of events planned. Jada Walker has what you may want to put on your calendars.
February 9th at 7:08 in Johns 101, there will be a spades tournament and tutorial. February 12th, NAACP will host their Founders Day banquet. February 15th, there will be a gospel concert in Daniel Chapel at 7 p.m. February 21st, there will also be another CLP at 7 p.m. in Jaws 101. February 21st, it's time to do some sipping and painting, BHM edition, in Rinker 152 at 7 o'clock. February 22nd, there's a Black People Meet in Trone at 2:08. February 22nd, there's a Black People Meet in Trone at 6:30. February 23rd, there's a CIC drop-in also in Trone at 12 p.m. And to end Black History Month, there's a Black History Month closing celebration in Johns 101 at 6:30 p.m.
These events are free, and all you have to do is show up or register for an event on SyncDin. On Tuesday, students kicked off Black History Month by celebrating Black excellences. Students, faculty, and staff gathered at Burgess Theater to watch students showcase talents in honor of Black excellence. The talents range from poetry, singing, modeling, dancing. One student says the talent shows all students to embody Black excellences that allows students to be their true selves.
Black excellence is surpassing expectations, overcoming barriers, and beating the stereotype while showing up as your true Black self each and every day, everywhere you go.
Wow, what an amazing group of talents last night. The next Black History event will be a spades tournament that will be in Johns 101 at 7 p.m. In addition to the Black History Month events that are also CLPs, here are some others that you may want to attend. On Monday at 5 p.m., Dr. Moss is hosting a talk on echolocation used by animals and blind humans. That's in Johns Hall. Then at 6:30 in Burgess Theater, there's a screening of Breaking the News with a discussion on diversity in the newsroom. To follow Tuesday at 7 p.m., Damon West will be sharing an inspirational message about his life in the book, The Coffee Bean. Thursday at 6 p.m., you can join Furman faculty to learn about their recent books on Black history and culture in McEachern Lecture Hall. To cap off this packed week, you can enjoy a relaxing evening in McAllister with the Furman Symphonic Band at 7:30. This concert will combine Furman students with local middle and high school students for one harmonious evening. You may have noticed students racing around campus last week. That was FUSAB's annual tag event. Let's go to Marissa Shabes for more.
Once a year, FUSAB hosts my personal favorite event, TAG. It's open to any student, but you better be ready to sneak around.
Lily Collins led the committee in charge of TAG this year and is here to explain the game.
So what I'd most compare it to is like a game of Senior Assassin. So basically, you come in and pick up a wristband of someone that has it has their name on it, and then your job is to go out and tag them.
The game gets intense very quickly. There's a cash prize for first, second, and third place. People plan out exactly how they are going to get their target. They have alliance meetings, make spreadsheets, and even pay people for information. Senior Alex Bussum shared a bit of her strategy.
I have 5 plans, so we'll see which happens first. But I know her class schedule, so I'm either going to get her before class, at the new member meeting, or anything with big little reveal, or their location afterwards, and get her at the restaurant.
Alex chased her target after her sorority's big little reveal. Sorority members attempted to protect her target, but Alex succeeded in tagging her just outside the getaway car.
It is a really fun week, and there are going to be people that go hard and take it really seriously, but there's also people that's not. So wherever you are on the spectrum of how hard you want to play the game, there's going to be that space for you.
Congratulations to the winners, Katie Spanis, Emmy Barth, Maya Tran, and Reagan Kennedy.
Hey!
Shoot, I gotta run. This has been Marissa with the Nightly News. Back to you, Joanna.
Well, I hope she doesn't get tagged. To see other super fun upcoming FUSAB events, go to SyncDin. One way you could get in shape for TAG next year would be to go to the PAC. They offer many opportunities for student fitness. Recently, they have moved to group fitness classes being free of charge for students. They offer yoga, spin, Pilates, and more. A unique part of these classes are that many are taught by students for students. Sophomore Leah Forrest teaches a spin class twice a week.
I love teaching spin because it empowers people. We have people that are very new to spin. I mean, most of the people that come have only been going for just this year, and they feel better. Some of them even like look better.
It was a really tough weekend to be a Dins fan. Let's look at some of the highlights from our last home game.
It was a hard-fought game against UNC Greensboro Sunday night, despite shots like this 3 by JP Pegues. At halftime, the Paladins had a slim lead of 51-47. But in the second half, UNCG surged back and did not miss at the free throw line. Furman surged back with an 8-0 run, with shots like this from Marcus Foster, who was our lead scorer with 26 points.
Despite having 3 players scoring in double digits, including JP Pegues and Alex Williams, the Dins fell to Greensboro 87-89. Last night, men's basketball could not bounce back against Mercer. Furman was leading at half, but a run of only 5 points in 8 minutes caused the Bears to go on a run and take over the game, winning 78-69. Women's basketball's road trip to Tennessee did not go as planned Thursday. They fell to ETSU 59-78. They played the Buccaneers close until halfway through the second quarter, where they went on a scoring drought that extended well into third quarter on Sunday. The Lady Dins could not bounce back against Chattanooga, where they lost 62-79. This game was out of reach from late in the first quarter, thanks to Chattanooga's shooting almost 60% from the field. However, the bright spot in the road trip was Jada Session, who averaged 14.5 points and 7 rebounds this past weekend. Men's tennis was the bright spot this weekend in West Point, New York. On Friday, they fell to DePaul 1-4. However, on Saturday, they beat the home team Army 4-1. They capped off the weekend with a come-from-behind victory against Boston College 4-3, with 2 big singles wins from John Rado and Alan Walker. It's another busy weekend for the Furman Paladins, with many teams hoping to bounce back. Women's basketball defends Timmons Arena this weekend, hosting UNCG on Thursday and Western Carolina on Saturday. Men's tennis will return to Mickles Tennis Center this weekend to take on Gardner-Webb on Friday and Xavier on Sunday. Women's tennis heads to West Virginia to take on Louisville on Saturday and the Marshall Thundering Herd on Sunday. Softball starts their season with a packed weekend at the UNCW tournament in Wilmington, North Carolina. On Friday, they'll have a doubleheader with North Dakota State and DePaul. Saturday, they'll have another doubleheader on Saturday with Northern Kentucky and UNC Wilmington. They'll cap off their weekend with one last game against UNC Wilmington again on Sunday afternoon. Men's basketball will be back in the national spotlight this Saturday on the road against ETSU at 6 p.m. on CBS Sports Network. The Buccaneers are going to challenge the Dins offense as they lead the SoCon with the lowest points allowed, our seconds in rebounds, and lead the conference in the blocks per game. On Wednesday, the Dins will host VMI, who, despite their poor record, have recently played teams like ETSU and UNCG very closely. We'll have our eye on the Keydets' Tayshawn Jackson II, who is second in rebounds for the SoCon, with 10 per game. Expect a battle of the boards between him and Marcus Foster, who leads the Paladins in rebounds. That's it for your sports schedule this weekend. Professional ice hockey in the South? Trust me, you absolutely don't want to miss out on that.
The Greenville Swamp Rabbits have been on fire lately. Catching this team in action is an experience you won't want to miss. With only 10 home games left in the season, now is the time to seize the excitement. From themed games and free concourse activities to sign-making, music, and a plethora of other fun-filled surprises, there's something for everyone to enjoy.
The next home game is February 16th. To get tickets, simply visit swamprabbits.com. Softball has their seasonal opener this weekend in Wilmington, North Carolina. So Alex Mayer decided to take a look at what they've been doing to prepare for the new season.
That's right. The softball team gets back into the swing of things this weekend in North Carolina as they face off against North Dakota State.
The Lady Dins did not take the off-season lightly, though, as they spent many hours in the weight room and on the field perfecting their craft. The Dins, who went 20-32 last year, are looking to bounce back after a rather disappointing season. The goal, once again, to win that elusive SoCon championship that hasn't been held by Furman since 2017. Furman returned starters at 7 of 8 positions, as well as all 5 of its pitchers, giving them a deep bench. Sophomore standout and preseason SoCon Player of the Year, Kylie Perry, says that experience gives them confidence.
You can definitely tell it's just different when you play with a team that you've been with and trust and respect every person behind you. I pitch a little bit too, as pitchers, that's such a huge part of the game is knowing no matter if I mess up, my defense 100% has my back always.
After finishing 3rd in the conference last year, they're looking to get that nasty taste out of their mouth.
Will this be a walk-off season for the Dens, or will they strike out at the plate? We'll see as the season unfolds. I'm Alex Mayer for Nightly News.
Our first home game is February 16th in Pepsi Stadium. The Bats were hot this past weekend as Furman softball held their inaugural home run derby for students and staff, with the winner receiving a shirt and a beanie. The derby consisted of 3 rounds where participants were thrown 10 pitches to hit as many home runs as they could. The final round was a sudden death between the final 2 participants left out of over 30, with the winner being club baseball standout Braden DePaul. This weekend is the Super Bowl between the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. We are excited to cheer on the South Carolinians Javon Kinlaw and Debo Samuel. Both on the 49ers, Kinlaw graduated from Goose Creek High School outside Charleston, and Samuel graduated from Chapman High School here in the upstate. The 2 players played together at the University of South Carolina and were both drafted by the 49ers in 2019 and 2020, respectively. You can watch them represent our great state on Sunday at 6:30 p.m. on CBS. Speaking of the Super Bowl, our Alex Mayer hit the mall to talk to you to get your predictions.
I'm here at James B. Duke Library at Furman University, and I'm going to be asking people what their Super Bowl predictions are. All right, I'm here with Claire and Isabella. Who do y'all think is going to win the Super Bowl this weekend?
Who's playing? The Chiefs?
The Chiefs and the 49ers.
Oh, Chiefs.
Chiefs?
Yeah, Chiefs.
Why?
I think it's scripted.
It's scripted?
And they're going to make it so Taylor Swift has a part in it.
Taylor Swift is going to have a part in the...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. I have a question for you.
Oh?
Is it okay if I ask?
Yeah.
Who do you got winning the Super Bowl?
I don't care.
Do you know who's playing in it?
Nope.
Would you like to know?
Nope.
Chiefs versus 49ers. Who do you got winning the Super Bowl?
None of that means anything to me. I don't care.
Thank you. Have a good one. Nice to meet you, Andrew.
Nice to meet you.
I like this little photo you got on.
It's an accessory.
Quick question though. Who do you got winning the Super Bowl?
Oh, dude, all my money's on the Sea Eagles or the Seahawks.
The Seahawks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seahawks. Yes, sir. Go Seahawks. Go Hawks. People call them Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go! You know.
Appreciate
Go
your time.
Hawks, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm here with Trey McLeod. Trey, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl this year?
I got a good feeling the Chiefs are going to win. Just kind of, you see what Pat Mahomes did last week. I just think nobody can handle all that.
I'm here with
John Holbrook.
John Holbrook of the Furman football team, right?
Furman football team.
Very
yes,
cool,
sir.
very cool. So who do you got winning the Super Bowl this week?
I got the Chiefs this week.
Chiefs?
Yeah.
Why is that?
You know, I'm a big Taylor Swift fan.
You heard it here first, folks. Big Taylor Swift fan. Appreciate you.
Could I ask you a question real quick? Okay. Who do you have winning the Super Bowl?
I don't know who's in the Super Bowl, but I think it's the Ravens.
No, the Ravens aren't in the Super Bowl.
I don't know, I'm sorry.
49ers first. Come on, you gotta know who's in the Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl.
Watch football.
49ers versus Chiefs. Taylor Swift. Come on.
Oh my God, I don't care about Taylor Swift. I'm so sorry.
Okay, all right, thank you.
What's your name first?
Will.
Will, nice to meet you, Will. So I'm going around asking people who they think is going to win the Super Bowl.
Ooh, I gotta say the 49ers.
Why is that?
Because I took a really awesome trip to San Francisco over the summer. It's a really awesome city, and so surely they're gonna win, you know?
Simple.
Yeah.
I like that answer. Appreciate you, man.
Of course.
We'll see if Taylor Swift's boyfriend and his team will win another Super Bowl ring, or if there's another ring in the mix. But either way, we are all going to win because either way, it should be a good game. Usher is playing the halftime show, and the Super Bowl ads are supposed to be fire this year. That does it for us. We'll leave you tonight with some scenes from around campus this week.